Oh, y'all buckle up, because I got things to say today, alright? We're going straight to business. Yesterday, the Zelda casting was revealed, and we now know who is going to be playing Zelda and Link in the new live-action Zelda movie, which isn't even coming out until 2027, and we will not be seeing a trailer for this thing until late 2026 at the earliest. So we don't even really know what this thing is going to look like, what it is all going to feel like, what the vibe is going to be, and I'm sure we're going to get even more casting opportunities just to see like who is going to be playing Ganondorf, Impa, all of these other characters I am sure is going to be in this movie. We don't even know any of that yet. We don't know anything about this movie. We cannot judge this movie yet, but yet people are doing it already over one of the most ridiculous things I have ever seen in my life. Now, I try very hard to stay out of conflict while also talking about conflict. I stay within the conflict because that is what's relevant. That's what people are talking about. That's why I am speaking about any of this, is because it is a very opinionated topic, and this channel is for opinions and is for the Nintendo community. So here we are, right? Miyamoto takes to Twitter and he says, guys, guess what? We're here to announce the Zelda casting for both Link and Zelda. Link will be played by Benjamin Evan Ainsworth, and Zelda will be played by Bo Bragason. Now, both of these actors are relatively new to the scene. No one really knows a lot about them. People have been saying all over the place, I've never really seen them before, but they look relatively great for the roles. Bo is 21 years old, and Benjamin, I believe, is 16. So they both really fit that archetype of what the Link and Zelda dynamic has been in all of the Zelda games throughout the canon. This is perfect, and I love that they didn't pick Tom Holland for Link. I love that they didn't pick some Emma Watson chick for Zelda. Like, I am incredibly happy that they did not go out of their way to pick big names for the stars of this movie, because they are the stars of this movie. Now, Ganondorf might be different. I would not be shocked at all if someone like The Rock or the guy who played Aquaman ends up being Ganondorf. But at the same time, I think maybe they'll take this as the rest of the cast, right? They'll go and find some hidden talent and make this their first big movie, because the actors should not be bigger than the characters themselves. The actors should bring out what the characters are, not be the actual spectacle. The characters, the film, the storyline should be what draws people. Zelda, the actual franchise, should be what draws people. And believe it or not, most people are very, very happy with this casting, but there is a small vocal minority, per usual, that is just enraged at this casting, totally and completely flabbergasted that Nintendo could ever do this to them. Why are they doing that? Why is this a thing? Because of a rumor. Because of a rumor that was never confirmed to be anything other than just a rumor. This big rumor was that Hunter Schafer was going to be casted as Zelda. And yes, Hunter looks very similar to Zelda. Here are some pictures on the screen right now. They look incredibly similar to each other, but that is not all it takes, my friends. It is not a similarity contest. That's not what we're doing here. People have been absolutely enraged at Hunter not being the new Zelda, because that was a big rumor. People thought that Hunter was going to be Zelda, and Hunter isn't. Hunter is not Zelda. And now we know Bo Bragason is Zelda, and she looks perfect. Like, I truly do think she also looks perfect. Now, maybe she doesn't look identical to Zelda, but she looks perfect for the role. I can see her being a perfect Zelda. And I'm sure they went through multiple, maybe even hundreds of actresses looking for the perfect Zelda, and more than just looks. Sure, they wanted to make sure that the looks were similar. They wanted to make sure that this person looked like Zelda. But at the same time, you have so much more to acting than just what you look like. And that is why it is so frustrating to me to see people be completely and totally outraged by this when it's just not that big of a deal. It's just not. And one of the final straws that broke the camel's back to me making this video to begin with, I can put up with people on Twitter. I can put up with crazy journalists. But one thing that really rubbed me the wrong way was this article here called "Nintendo Just Botched the Live Action Legend of Zelda Casting." This article is not bad. In fact, I think it makes a decent point if you take out the context, and I think this person took out the context. I am so frustrated at everything about this article. Now, here's the problem, okay? Basically, the main point of this article is that Nintendo is playing it safe with The Legend of Zelda. And the only reason anyone could ever have to believe that they're playing it safe with this movie is if you knew for a fact that Hunter was going to be the Zelda, and then all of a sudden they decided not to make Hunter the Zelda because Hunter is a transgender person. Hunter transitioned from a male to a female, and people were saying, you know what? Who cares? Like, no one was really talking about that aspect of it. People were saying that would be cool. There were people saying that would be a great fit for Zelda in one way or another, especially considering how she was chic in the games, but that's not at all what Hunter is, and Zelda is clearly not transgender. She just pretended to be a man for Ocarina of Time. But people were pointing out a lot of those similarities, and they were just very excited at the possibility of Hunter being that Zelda for one reason or another. But a lot of it just simply boiled down to they thought Hunter looked like Zelda, and so she should be Zelda. And she's not. She's not the Zelda. And people were saying, oh, she has a great acting career. She's done this, she's done that. It would be perfect. Y'all, Hunter was never going to be Zelda. And this article, the way this article was written, assumes that Hunter was always in candidacy for the Zelda role. We have no idea. We have no clue whatsoever that Hunter was ever in consideration for this role. And we know for a fact that they were looking for younger actors. And Hunter, I believe, is 26. By the time this movie would come out, Hunter would be 28. And if there were ever any other future sequels, which I'm sure there will be Zelda movie sequels, then Hunter would not be the right age for Zelda. Hunter would be too old for this role. The only, and I mean the only reason anyone could ever be upset about this is if they had personally hoped that Hunter would be Zelda and were just hoping that it would happen. That's it. If you're upset about that, okay, go on, please, have your opinion. I will not care one way or another. But the way this article is written, the way so many people are talking, was as if Hunter was one of the finalists for this role. This is the equivalent of me saying, I want The Rock to play Mario in the Mario movie, and for then Chris Pratt to be announced as Mario, and then for me, and then a bunch of people to also get so unbelievably upset. You know, The Rock would have been perfect, and Nintendo's just scared. They're scared because they know The Rock would have been too out there, would have been too much for people to handle, and that's why they're doing it. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. The Rock was never going to be Mario. Hunter was probably never in consideration, was probably never going to be Zelda. This was all completely and totally made up by the fan base. People made it up and took it as fact, and it's a rumor. That's all it is. It's a fan casting, and this happens all the time, and yet people are taking it as if it was law. People are taking it as if it was fact, and it just simply was not fact. Hunter might have been the perfect Zelda. Who knows? I don't know. We're never gonna know. But Bo Bragison, Bo is now the new Zelda. Bo is my Zelda because Bo is Zelda. We know for a fact she is Zelda now. That's it. End of story. Now, if you're upset about that, go ahead. Go ahead. I have nothing against that. But one of the worst things that I can imagine for someone, I am 20, for someone to be 21 years old like Bo, to get a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity like this, to become Zelda on the big screen, a movie that could very well make over $1 billion, that could launch her career into something larger, that could change her life forever. For this to be the reception she's getting, for people to be saying #NotMyZelda on Twitter, it's despicable. I can't stand it. I truly am just, and I'm just flabbergasted. I can't believe that people are so tone deaf to this situation. This is the opportunity of a lifetime for Bo. And Bo isn't even some crazy pick. Bo looks like Zelda. Bo can pull off Zelda. I don't know anything about Bo. I've never seen her in any of her other movies. I don't know anything about Hunter. I've never seen Hunter in any of her movies. I don't know anything about either of these actresses at all. And I am glad about that. I don't want it to be some big superstar, like I said earlier. But what is so frustrating to me is that people are acting as if this was robbed. They were robbed of an opportunity to see a better Zelda. And most people, I guarantee you, did not know anything about Hunter's acting career or Bo's acting career before this. And yet, based off of one thing, looks and rumors, we are now putting down a young actress like Bo who deserves so much better, who deserves at least the benefit of the doubt and our hope, because this is a very, very important movie for Nintendo and for the Nintendo community. And if this movie ends up sucking, if the trailer comes out and it looks horrible and the movie is horrible because it's live action and it's really hard to do video game adaptations correctly in live action, then that is a completely and totally different conversation. But right now, all we know and all we can truly make a decision on is if we think Bo looks like Zelda. And from the images that they showed of both Bo and Benjamin, by the way, has kind of gotten off the hook here with all this Zelda hate, Bo looks perfect for the role. Now, this was the image that Miyamoto put on Twitter, the Nintendo Twitter, and they both kind of look similar to their roles. I'm sure this isn't them filming. I don't think this is actually from the movie, but Zelda in that blue from Breath of the Wild, and Link there at the bottom, Benjamin in his little garbs, and there's like the green around him. They both look great. They look fantastic, and I really do think between the two of them, Benjamin should have gotten a lot more flack, because Benjamin doesn't really look like Link, any sort of iteration of Link whatsoever, and I'm sure they're going to change it. His outfit is going to look different. He is probably going to look much different in the movie, as will Bo. I'm sure they will both look completely different, but from this specific image, this is the only image we have seen. This is the only official piece of content that we have from Nintendo. Bo looks perfect. Bo looks like a great Zelda. Benjamin looks like he could pull it off, and I do believe he will be able to. I'm sure it's going to be great. I'm sure these actors are phenomenal. I'm sure it's going to be good. I really do think it is going to be good. I just don't know about Benjamin, and that is the other thing. I can't judge this either. Like, I don't really think that Benjamin looks like the perfect Link. I could probably pick a lot better people that looks like a Link, but you know what? This isn't a similarity contest. They are actors, and they are going to be acting in a movie. And if Benjamin was the perfect pick, I trust them. I trust their decision making here. So I am kind of putting my own ideology to the test here, because when I first saw Benjamin, I was like, dang, man, I don't know if he's going to be Link, if he's going to be a good one or not. I don't know. We'll see. But I can't judge that yet because I have no idea. And for people to be upset at Bo, of all people, who looks perfect for this role, I just am flabbergasted. All because of a fan casting. All because some people decided, hey, Hunter looks like Zelda, and it caught steam. That's why we're mad at Bo. That's why we're ruining the idea of Zelda for Bo. That's why people are all of a sudden saying hashtag not my Zelda and putting her down. How many people do you think are going out of their way to spew hate towards Bo Bragason right now? That is just despicable, and we've not seen a single scene of this movie. We've not seen a single clip, a single picture. We don't know what the title is. We don't know anything about this movie, and yet people are being horrible. And I can't believe I have to come on here and say this, but I felt the need to do so. So for the sake of Bo Bragason's career, for the sake of Benjamin Ainsworth's career, please, everyone, let's take a chill pill. Let's wait a little bit. Initial impressions, the only thing we can really do is judge based off of looks, and that is not a good look, if you catch my drift. Let's wait and see what is going on here with this movie. I am sure it is going to be fine. I am sure Miyamoto has a big hand in it. I'm sure Nintendo has a big hand in it. This isn't just them handing it off to some studio and praying it turns out good. They did this with the Mario movie. They gave it to Illumination, a studio who has been known for making really cash grabby slop movies. The Minions, like all of that stuff that people, it makes money, but it's not quality. And Nintendo worked hand in hand with them, and it was a quality movie. It was a fantastic movie that made over $1 billion and is leading to a sequel and is leading to a whole bunch of other Nintendo products inside this entertainment industry. We're going to see more movies, more TV shows, and in fact, we now know Nintendo and Illumination both filed for the US copyright of a Donkey Kong project. That means they're probably working on a Donkey Kong movie. One of my biggest predictions for this year was that we were going to see an update from the studio Nintendo Pictures, and that we were going to see what they were working on, whether that be some sort of TV show. I personally had predicted a Splatoon anime or something to that effect, but we have not really gotten that. But in turn, we have gotten a bunch of other Nintendo-related movie and show stuff, which is a new Donkey Kong movie, Zelda movie updates, a Mario movie 2 update. They are expanding their brand into things other than just games, and now here we are with these movies, and here we are with Zelda. So please, everyone, let's take a chill pill. If you were one of those people that were very upset, please continue to be upset if, in fact, you were only upset because you just wish that Hunter had the role. But that is the only reason that anyone can truly be upset about this, because I don't like telling people how to feel. But if you're upset thinking that Nintendo was too scared to pick Hunter, you don't know anything about this, buddy. You don't know if Hunter was ever in consideration. You don't know anything, and neither do I. Maybe Hunter was a finalist. Maybe she was one of the last people. Maybe it was her and Bo. I don't know. But what I do know is that they picked Bo, and that was for a very specific reason. Maybe we'll find out if it was a mistake or not. Maybe Hunter will go on to have a huge career that completely blows everyone's expectations out of the water, and Bo will just completely flounder. I don't believe that will be the case, but we can't know right now. That's all we can really know for now, so I am going to leave it here. Make sure you leave a comment telling me all your thoughts about this. Were you one of the people who saw all this? Were you one of the people who were typing like this? Tell me all of your opinions down below. I am really curious if anyone else has been seeing this as much as I have, because it's been shocking to me. So make sure you like and subscribe today's video if you enjoyed the content to keep up with all of my future videos. And speaking of my future videos, make sure you click that notification bell so you know exactly when I upload and you can come and watch my new content. Make sure you consider joining my membership program to get early access to all the videos I make and get a bunch of other cool perks. Click on the left side of your screen now if you want to see my other Zelda video talking about kind of the future of Zelda and what that next 3D game could look like. Funny enough, I released that on the same day the casting was released. And click on the right side of your screen if you want to see a playlist of all of my Zelda videos. Make sure you have a phenomenal day. This has been Ray's Nintendo Talk. I have been Ray, and I will see you all in the next video.